and the world. All of them need to be protected. All of them need to be safeguarded. Why we need a Hindu nation? That question need to be addressed. Because the Hindu civilization is good, it need to be kept alive, we need a Hindu nation. But the civilization is getting destroyed in extremely alarming speed. Hindus are neither ready to wake up, and anyone who is even trying to wake up the Hindus is targeted and destroyed brutally. Fortunately, with the grace of Paramashiva, I am still alive. I am not killed. I did not fall. But the number of attempts on my life and the lawfare done on me and the defamation, destroying my identity, all this is enormous. If you see the volume of atrocity material generated on me in the internet, you will be shocked. Listen carefully. I want Hindus to know this truth. Understand? The target of anti-Hindu elements is not me, you. Because I am defending all of you, I am being targeted. Listen. Wake up to that. Oh Hindus, the target of anti-Hindu elements is not me, you. Because I am defending you, protecting you, they are targeting me. Wake up to this truth. Let me reveal some of these truths step by step. First, India has two layers. Civilizational nation, territorial nation. The threats territory is facing, all of you know. But the threats civilizational nation is facing, unsaid. Even the Hindus are not waking up to this truth. The threat Hindu civilizational nation is facing, even Hindus strongly believe caste system is wrong. Oh God. Hey, this is the system which made you live, which is your life, which is still keeping you alive, the only existing ancient civilization. There are 49 ancient civilizations. All 48 has disappeared. The only living continuous, only continuously living unbroken civilization is Hindu civilization. The reason, one and only reason is caste system. Kula talchi uyarchi sollal pavam. That line I agree. There is no higher or lower among the caste. That I agree. But don't try to dismantle the very caste system. The caste system kept this civilization alive. Deity worship kept the civilization alive. Temples kept the civilization alive.
வந்து உதித்தான் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ.
Understand, program starts but never ends, and it is never the same again. It is actually not a program, it's a lifestyle initiation. It is just upgrading your consciousness, your being. Bring intense sincerity, sincere intensity into this program. Instead of sitting with your depressions, sit with me, Paramashiva. I welcome all of you to register by going to paramashivam.org. And even if you have attended already any program, please go through once more intensely, sincerely, intensely, because it is going to be absolutely new and different level. I commit with you all. I will initiate all of you, bless you all with the Shakti Pada, Shakti Nipada, and Paramashiva myself will manifest the state, space, powers, being, super consciousness and KAILASA of Paramashiva in all of us. The various steps are used in yoga ultimately to awaken your Kundalini Shakti. Kundalini is the inner potential energy. Once it is awakened, you will experience extraordinary health, physically, mentally, and extraordinary powers, abilities. Starting, if you have started, even in a polluted, crude, raw, diluted form, it's okay. You are welcome. Nothing wrong. But now it is time you look into authentic scriptures.
Please understand, not for any arrogance or pride, I have distilled the essence, the best of the 1,000,000 yogic scriptures and compiled it and offered it to all of you in the form of Nithyananda Yoga. I have integrated Hatha Yoga asanas, pranayama, kriya, mudra, bandha, visualization, verbalization, shravana, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, aushada, money, everything. Paramashiva revealed. And the Paramashiva's incarnations revealed in Vedic and Agamic scriptures. Understand? Yen Fitness is a complete compilation. Nithyananda Yoga is a complete compilation for fitness to manifest the state, space, powers and being of Paramashiva. Now I am going to enter into the exact dimensions, that 11 dimensions. All logic which moves systematically comes under length dimension. Length dimension is a power by itself. If you master the length dimension, anything which works as per the logic will be under your control. You are master of it. Almost 99.99% of the known Vyakta is logic, length dimension. Your idea of currency, your idea of ownership, your ideas about mathematics, almost much of your science other than the quantum physics and parallel universe. I want you to know these dimensions, only then I can take you to the next level of experience. With understanding about these dimensions, you yourself will know how the powers are manifesting and you will start playing with them. You getting comfortable with your consciousness and manifesting powers will start happening once you understand these 11 dimensions. I initiate all of you into the powers of length, breadth, depth dimensions. It will start manifesting from this moment. If you want any other, your friends, relatives, who are already initiated in any one of the program, Ananda Spurana to Mahaparamashivoham, any program, if they have taken any one initiation, you can get them back from tomorrow. I'll initiate and make every one of you revive your inner KAILASA. I am going to shower and make every one of you revive your inner KAILASA. Om.
Nithyanandam, we are on a mission to revive the Enlightenment civilization.
If you resonate with our message and want to be part of us, be sure to like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to click the bell icon.
Nithyanandam, Mahaparamashivoham has started. It started on the 15th of May, which was a couple of days ago. And oh my gosh, what an amazing time I've had. Feel incredibly blessed to be part of this program. Usually the program is $1,000 a day, which makes it $21,000 for the whole 21 days. And just for this season, and I believe the next season also, we have the program available as a gift, showered by the cosmos as usual. So many prayers from so many people who've been wanting to attend Mahaparamashivoham, but either because of money or time, especially because of money, People have struggled to make it happen for themselves. The cosmos, as cosmos, is always listening and always ever ready to shower on its beings. Here we are, disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, showered with this program. I'm so happy because I am obsessed with having to find anything inside of me which is a negative cognition or an impossibility. And there are times when I struggle to even find those. I know there's a problem, it's a blind spot. And one of them was, having trust issues, being able to trust. And that I know that's something that I have struggled with when it comes to my relationship with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as well. Not listening properly and not really allowing myself to surrender fully. All of these struggles, I've been aware of it, but not being able to find the exact point where I could, come to peace with. And yesterday's darshan, that very point came up. I sat and I just kept dropping all the negativity I was experiencing at Swamiji's feet. And lo and behold, this morning it cracked open, and incidents where I had developed mistrust just came up, and it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like a oozing of this, this pus that has just been forming for a long time just came up. And I'm feeling so grateful, and it's all because of me being there for the past two darshans. The first darshan I felt so cared for and loved for by Swamiji. And then the second darshan, the wounds have opened up for me to be able to heal them fully. Allow Swamiji to heal them. So I'm really excited about all the other sessions that are going to be coming up now. So here is an invitation from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for every disciple that has been initiated. Any initiated disciple of Swamiji is welcome to the program. There is a registration link which can be made available to you. Please join, please catch it. One of the obstacles, which is money, is removed now. Now it's a case of just ask your boss, or if you're the boss, take time off and come and join. This is what I wanted to share with you all today. Thank you for listening.
Nithyanandam, we are on a mission to revive the Enlightenment civilization.
If you resonate with our message and want to be part of us, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click the bell icon.
Nithyanandam, I just wanted to share my experience regarding yesterday's Lingodbhava Darshan that Swamiji had given us during the Paramashivam program, or day 2 of Paramashivam program. What can I say about Swamiji's grace and blessings? It was just so blissful. Swamiji, I think, filled us with so much bliss and completion during the entire day. There was completion going on, processes going on. And when Swamiji's darshan came, it was just pure bliss. And Swamiji felt like, he was initiating us into mind reading, into feeling, getting into being in the thought current of Paramashiva. That was just beautiful. And he was helping us experience the cosmology and, the
தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான் காக்குமிரையே நட்டின் உருவாய் வந்த களிப்பால் கட்டு கடங்கா மகிழ்வு கொண்டே மலை போல் வரும் துயர் யாவையும் துடிப்போதினில் பொடியாக்கிட புயலாய் வருவான், துணையென வருவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான். உருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான். தலை தூக்கிடும் கருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான். பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான், தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான். பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான், தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். பகை கொண்டு என்னை தாக்கும் வீணத்தமை கடும் சினம் கொண்டு தாக்கிடுவான், தாக்கிடுவான். மிகை கொண்டு நட்பால் என் மனம் என்ன கண் முன்னே வந்திடுவான், வந்திடுவான். சூதெதுவும் அறியாதொரு மழலை மொழி பேசி, சூதெதுவும் அறியாதொரு மழலை மொழி பேசி எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான், நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான், நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். மனம் கொண்ட எண்ணங்கள் யாவும் வெகுண்டோட தியானங்கள் தந்திடுவான், தந்திடுவான். யுகம் காக்கும் நித்யானந்தன் உயிர் தோழனாய் என்னை என்று ஏத்திடுவான், ஏத்திடுவான். கருணை மழையினில் நாமும் இரையாய் மாறக்கூடும், அவன் கருணை மழையினில் நாமும் இரையாய் மாறக்கூடும். சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான், அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான், அவன் சரணம் அடைந்தால் அருள்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். காக்கும் இறையே நட்பின் உருவாய் வந்த களிப்பால் கட்டு கடங்கா மகிழ்வு கொண்டேன், மகிழ்வு கொண்டேன். காக்கும் இறையே நட்பின் உருவாய் வந்த களிப்பால் கட்டு கடங்கா மகிழ்வு கொண்டேன், மகிழ்வு கொண்டேன். மலை போல் வரும் துயர் யாவையும் நொடிப்போதினில் பொடியாக்கிட புயலாய் வருவான், துணையென வருவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான், வந்து உதித்தான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் நித்யானந்தா.
आनन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्याधिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatītam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami.
Nityanandam, everyone. We welcome all of you to today's another episode on Nityananda TV. I am Srinitya Brahmasukhananda Maharaj, and we have with us again today Srinitya Rajananda Maharaj. Nityananda Maharaj. Yes. So today we are bringing another very exciting topic for all of you. Directly revelations from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. We every day try to select various important topics which are directly relevant for today's modern day humanity. Whatever we are discussing, going through in our day-to-day life, we are directly approaching those topics with the revelations and the powerful cognitions of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. So the topic today that we have chosen for our viewers is going beyond death. How to conquer death and become immortal. Immortality is natural lifestyle for Hindus. It has been that way for time immemorial. And that is the way Hindus have been living on the planet, the powerful way in which they have been manifesting, and the way Hindus cognize death and understand what death is and how to conquer it. It is a science which has tremendous value for the modern day humanity, because we are tormented by so many fears, especially the fear related to death. It literally chokes our entire life, even each and every day. We may not even be in the deathbed, but just this fear and this whole feeling about death, and we are going to what will happen to us eventually. All these questions continue to haunt us. So let's discuss this topic today, Maharaj. See what Swamiji is telling and what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is trying to guide us, how he is guiding us through this entire question about death and how to conquer it, how to go beyond it.
Yes. And immediately, for those who are watching, if you are interested in getting an experiential understanding, we're going to have a beautiful discussion. You can be a part of this discussion about death. But to have an experiential understanding about really a breakthrough in your life and getting to great clarity about your death, about the questions that you may have about it, and really demystify it from the inside out, really needs an experience. And all of this is done in the safe and beautiful spiritual ecosystem that the Mahaparamashivaham sessions are providing. Right now, the Mahaparamashivaham sessions are going on for free, and you can all join them. Just have to join signing at your registration in the link below, or scan the QR code and immediately get to know when the next session is and when you can join. So it's an invitation about that, and today specifically we'll be able to have a deep experiential understanding about what is death. So yes, Maharaj, we just wanted to mention that before we start. And yes, we can go ahead. Yes, so much is there when it comes to Hindus. Just the way we decide how we're going to live about life, when we have a certainty and a definition of death for ourselves, that it really affects our life. And you can even, how we've been going on comparing the two kind of civilizations here, that we see a civilization that talks about one life, and civilizations that talk about two lives, or not two, multiple lives. And you are not just inside many. This is one of hundreds of thousands of millions of lives. And in fact, the Shastras say that to be able to come to a human existence, you would have lived almost 80 million lifetimes. Mm-hmm. So that is just the expansion of your concept of time, expansion of your concept of your mortality, that your mortality is not just a matter of 40, 50, 60, 80, 100 years. It can be a matter of, you are a consciousness. So that is the first way that Hinduism deals with you, as a consciousness, and tells you that you are going to be entering into this life as one of the lives. Even in Krishna's Sri Bhagavad Gita, the first things he tells Arjuna is telling you, look, this is only one of your bodies. You have had many, and reminding these great truths when Arjuna is in the most fear, he's afraid of what is going to happen in his life and what's going to happen in his future. Like, if he does all this, he'll incur so much of things if he does the Mahabharata war. So that was the dilemma that Arjuna was in, but Krishna dealt with it by giving direct truths about death. And many scriptures talk about that. Even Bhagavad Gita has a correlation to many of the Shastras, including that of Kathopanishad, where we have always celebrated a small boy just going and talking to death, just going and just attending to death as if he's like a guru or an old pal, and just going and having a conversation with death. That is the way and the courage with which Hindus face death as a friend, as a guru, as a teacher, as someone you can learn from. So we can talk about Kathopanishad, Maharaj.
Yes, in fact, Kathopanishad is one of the most important scriptures, more important as the Supreme Pontiff had shared to Shaivas especially, who have preserved this knowledge and the science given in the Kathopanishad, because the ferociousness with which the topic of death is dealt with in the Kathopanishad, it's unmatched really. The whole story of Nachiketa, how he literally simply he walks in and faces death as it is, and simply demands that I want to know the secret about death. The Lord of Death himself, he tries to persuade him to opt for different. He gives him all kinds of baits and greets. Right? I'll give you this, I'll give you wealth, and I'll give you all kinds of good things in life. But don't try to get into this ultimate mystery about death. But he doesn't budge. He is just very upfront about it, and he wants to know the secrets of death as it is, pure, unadulterated from Yama, from the Lord of Death himself. And that is the ferociousness with which this whole science of death can be decoded and mastered. In fact, as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also put it, because death and dying, where your perception of the known ends, it is called death. Where your perception continues to torture you, continues to torture you each and every day, it is called dying. Because death is not just one moment. Each and every moment, if the whole notion of death is torturing us, it's making us more and more uncomfortable in our whole day-to-day life. That is not really the life which we want to live. This is what is called the entire way of the whole thing. Instead of becoming a living, it becomes dying. The whole experience becomes life negative. That is why knowing about death, what death is, and facing it, and literally going beyond it, right? Looking at the other side of the tunnel, so to speak, consciously, which is possible. People may not understand what we are really trying to say, what is conscious death experience that they are going to experience in the Paramashivam program. Yes. How powerful it is, what it gives you, what a great gift it is to live with that experience of having gone through death consciously while in the body and being completely rid of all the fears.
Yes, Maharaj. And what you're saying is absolutely correct. We are in every moment, every exhale itself is a rejuvenation. And for us, death is a rejuvenation. It is nowhere a cease to exist. That is the way that the promise that is given in the Shastras. That is why that earlier point about how Bhagavad Gita is relevant is because he tells us you never cease to exist. Then why are you afraid? Why is death such a big impending kind of a concept? Because you never cease to exist. Nainan chindandi shastrani, nainan dahadibhavaka. Nothing can cleave you. You are consciousness. When we're telling everyone and inviting everyone to come and join the processes and the Paramashivam program, where we'll be conversing and giving you deeper insight about the truth of these matters, about death, about fear, and how the initiation happens. It is that in the process, you'll get a glimpse that you are beyond this body and mind. That is what is the experiential understanding. When you have this glimpse that you are more than just your body and mind, then you'll be able to say, hey, I'm more than this body and mind. I have to face the truth. So it is like coming to terms with your life, coming to terms with the reality of life. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says beautifully, death may be staring at some other direction. If you decide to stare at him, his eyes will move and come and get fixed on you, and that will be a beautiful looking at each other. It is coming in terms with your higher self. It is coming in terms with the reality and truth that nobody wants to face. That even the society and the way that instant gratification plays a whole role in making people want to come away from these kind of reality, looking at reality, hey, things have to end. There is something you picked up as a habit. There's something that is not helping you. It needs to end. You need to move on. You need to come to the next phase of life. This fear of missing out is a big thing out there. So these are the concepts and the detoxification that goes on, really revolving around the ideas and understandings we have about fear, about death, and we can clear that in the presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
Exactly. Even when you talk about detoxification and rejuvenation, these are something which we can see experimentally. It can be proven statistically that the more we are in tune and we are more in a way powerful space related to the entire notion of death, we are living, we start manifesting anti-aging in our body, in our whole being, and not just individual level, Maharaj. Even if we talk about civilizational level, if we take the entire civilization as one being, another civilization as one being, which is a natural analogy which we can make. Just the scale is different, right? A civilization which is literally manifesting the power of going consciously going beyond death and having a deeper understanding about the whole concept of death will naturally live longer. Will be now just looking at the statistic, which is the most ancient civilization still surviving, still which rejuvenates itself. It has the intelligence to rejuvenate itself from time to time, going through various phases, various dimensions. There have been ups and downs, coming out again facing the whatever the reality is of that time, adapting and molding itself again, still manifesting and preserving its core identity at the same time. This whole ability at a civilizational level is possible only when there is this deep understanding in our very DNA. The civilization which I'm talking about, for those who may not understand, is the Hindu civilization, the most ancient and yet the most modern and most alive, right? As the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also puts it, I'm as old as sun and as new as the sunlight. Same thing holds true about any being or any civilization that who manifests, who expresses this power, this powerful cognition about death, who we really are. Basically, what death is nothing but our false identification. It can be with respect to body, it can be with respect to any name and fame, any identity, social identity, anything. The moment we see that identity being taken away, naturally that fear arises. That's exactly what death is, right? Every fear is naturally, ultimately, just the fear of losing that identity. It is the fear of death itself. So going beyond death consciously, it liberates us from all those fears and gives us the power to rejuvenate ourselves, the power of samhara, of Paramashivam himself. When he manifests this power of rejuvenation at the cosmic level, it is the same power which we can manifest in the at the individual level itself, microcosmic level itself, that whenever we are facing with any situation, when we feel, when we cognize, when we see that something which we thought as our identity is being taken away from us, so instead of falling into extreme panic and paranoia, facing it consciously and going beyond it and seeing that, hey, I am not really this identity which I was thinking. It was just my false identification and delusion which made me think that I am going to die, or that part of me is going to die. So these deeper level cognitions about death and rebirth and the whole, as you said in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna himself also again and again states the true identity, who you are really cannot die at all. Yes. What can die is not you. So experientially going, one is intellectually understanding, which is also important. And second, even consciously going through it, it ultimately liberates us from this whole limited identity about death, about the fear of death, and literally makes us immortal.
Yes, Maharaj. And I feel it is also a very common thing to come across this kind of a conversation with yourself. We are using the lingo of death and dying and the death process. Yes. But when it comes to the modern, the youth today, they all come to understanding when many things are dying in front of them, not just people, but I'm telling about maybe a relationship, maybe a particular perception in your life, or maybe a particular understanding that the education you had no use in being able to really face the real world situation and the real world work environment. This is a really big thing, and there's the sudden the depth of these kind of concepts that are given to you to this kind of a makes people distasteful with how the whole society kind of functions, with giving you an understanding about what you're supposed to grow up educating yourself with. And then that whole concept of this whole education is not going to be useful to the real world to be able to make me have a good job, have the dreams and fulfill the dreams that I want. This is itself coming to terms with this kind of a reality. What many people are, as you're saying, facing, that coming to terms with that comes, and they really, at that time, many Hindus embrace spirituality. They embrace Mahadeva. They literally come, and he is literally the god of those people who realize this is something. I don't want to be a part of this whole learning something and not having any use of it, and having things happen to me, and then realize I have to go beyond. So these are the moments when people really take a higher jump, and really all the way to the level of just saying Mahadeva is his way, his method of just being beyond all these kind of small struggles and everything. That is the beauty of Hinduism, is when these moments happen, they embrace the religion, they embrace Mahadeva. And Mahadeva is the most worshipped and the most celebrated divinity throughout Bharata, throughout the world itself. And just because he stands for this powerfulness, that when it comes to many things dying in front of you, including your perception, including your ego, including what you thought is possible, what is not possible, these death of this happens, then you have the power to empower yourself. And
Yes.
one good thing that happens during the process of consciously going through your death, consciously dying, these are beautiful, safe meditative processes that are done to be able to help you really have a deeper clarity about yourself, of what is permanent inside you, what can be taken away. Oh, this is I hold on to so dearly. What if it goes away? What if it happens? These thoughts happen, and facing those thoughts directly, and as Paramashiva, as a Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism saying, is literally staring at them and make you understand it is a teacher. Death is a teacher. Life is a teaching. So then you'll understand the whole process of this rebirth, the process of dying, process of consciously going through death. It gives you the process of rebirthing, and is more known and available to you when you are more ready to go through consciously the death of many things that are there in your life, whether it's a relationship or just face it consciously. It might have happened maybe a few years ago or something, but you want to really go through it and fix it, all of it, all the understandings and the wrong cognitions that you picked up, and just going over the pain of it. That rebirthing is a possibility when you have the opportunity in the space that is provided in the Mahaparamishivam programs. So that is the space available, and then when you do this, then you have literally made a lot of room. You'll feel so light after doing this beautiful process, and you'll have understand the science of rebirthing. Really, I can now create something new out of myself, and so much of suddenly a new life, literally a new life, a new birth is the experience that you'll have.
Yes, exactly, because the cognition gets grounded in your very muscle memory. And what is aging? More and more death, less rebirth happening in your at the cellular level. The body is aging, right? But when you manifest these cognition, the higher cognition about death, when you go beyond death, and when you consciously go through it, your muscle memory itself, your body itself starts manifesting these cognitions, and you see more and more rebirth, more and more rejuvenation happening in your cells at your cellular level, at which ultimately in turn manifests as anti-aging as well. So ultimately, all these things are related and directly tested, and it can be tested when you go through these experiences. What you experience at the physical level, it can be tested, right? What kind of, because even in the all the earlier programs that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has taken, we have done tests on so many participants. Again and again, the same results. The sudden jump in the energy and the mitochondrial energy in the cell, which they experience 1,000% more, 2,000%, 3,000% more jump, which is not a small number even to begin with, right? Huge surge in energy that happens when he awakens the new layers, the hidden layers of your DNA itself by the Kundalini awakening process, by the consciousness death
களிப்பால் கட்டு கடங்கா மகிழ்வு கொண்டே மலை போல் வரும் துயர் யாவையும் நொடிப்போதினில் பொடியாக்கிட புயலாய் வருவான், துணையென வருவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான். உடல் மாய்க்கும் நோய் வந்த போதும் உயிர் காக்கும் மருந்தாகி நின்றிடுவான். மனம் வாட்டும் இடர்கள் தீர இடம் சேர்க்கும் வார்த்தைகளை பேசிடுவான். அவன் பேசிடுவான். தலை தூக்கிடும் கருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான். பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான். தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான். பின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான். தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான். எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். எந்தன் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். நித்தின் மகிழ்வை தளர்த்திடச் செய்வான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான்.
They are not understanding Gurus and Brahmins are the roots of Hinduism. If you eliminate these two, Hinduism will be gone. They think the Neo-Hindutva people, the Neo-Hindus, they really believe they can keep Hinduism alive by eliminating Gurus and Brahmins. Fools don't understand. Gurus and Brahmins kept the Hinduism alive. Archavataran, Nijavataras kept Hinduism alive. Brahmins worshipping, keeping the Archavatara tradition. Gurus keeping the Nijavatara tradition. Kept Hinduism alive. Unique two principles of Hinduism is God descends in the form of deity in a specific place. Hindu temples are living place of living abodes of gods and goddesses, not just worship altars, theology training centers, education organizations alone, or it is not just prayer altars alone. It is living abode of gods and goddesses. That is, once a Hindu temple, the prana pratishta is done, consecration is done, you can't move it, you can't sell it. the Hindu temple land loses real estate value. It doesn't belong to any more planet Earth or planet Earth's real estate market. There is no real estate value for Hindu temple. The second important principle of Hinduism is Daivam Manushya Rupena. God lands in human body and manifests himself using human being and human identity. The Neo-Hindutva people, Neo-Hindus, does not believe in both principles, neither in Archavatara nor in Nijavatara. That is where the whole problem starts. They are brainwashed so much by the media cult and entertainment cult. Even the Neo-Hindus don't believe. They are as much as anti-Guru and anti-Brahmins as the anti-Hindu elements. Deadly combination of missionary militants and militant missionaries and Neo-Hindus ganged up is literally eliminating Hinduism from India. It's unfortunate, but the reality. I want international Hindu diaspora to wake up to this reality. Hindu diaspora need to wake up to this reality. The Hindu diaspora knows Hindus are minority. Still in India, Hindus are brainwashed that they are majority. Fools. Now the whole world is a global country. There's no such thing as individual country, especially after the advent of the internet and social media. We are all living in the internet. The world's largest city is internet. At any given time, 2 billion people are living there. We are all citizens of internet. We should call ourselves as netizens. In net, Hindus are minority. Wake up to the truth. Internationally, Hindus are minority. And in India, media allows, in the field of media, FDI is allowed. The deadly nexus of NGOs and media literally makes Hindus minority. Understand? Foreign direct investments and NGOs. Through that, the international majority religions pump in money. And even though Hindus are majority in India, they are not that organized. Indian Hindus, if you think you are a majority, you are a fool. You are deluded. Internationally, you are minority. Inside India also, you are minority. Anyone who has studied the whole international ecosystems will wake up to this truth. NRIs, the Hindu diaspora settled all over the world, knows Hindus are minority. So you can wake up to whatever I am saying easily. Please wake up. the Indian mass media cult and cinema industry, whether Bollywood or Dollywood or Bollywood or Sandalwood or all, the whole cinema industry in India, heavily funded by anti-Hindu elements, and they have successfully done the continuous hate speech at least for last 50 years. And the poison they emitted and the brainwashing they have done has gone so deep, even Hindus are feeling ashamed about their existence. When I grew up seeing people wearing the Hindu marks in the regular lifestyle, the day-to-day life, used to be 90% of the people's forehead. Now, it is less than 3% people wearing the Hindu symbols on their forehead in Indian society. People are ashamed to show themselves as Hindus. Sadhus are terrorized. They have to constantly live in fear. Hindus, wake up. Wake up. Just getting one job, getting married, 2 kids and 1 house and a good salary is not life. Hindu youth is getting brainwashed. Just that small little success is all life. And few courageous people who take up this sadhu life to keep Hindu culture alive are terrorized, and absolutely they have to face lawfare, they have to face so much of hate speech and so much of poisoning. Finally, they are killed, eliminated. And I am telling you, in few days, nobody will remember this lynching. And nobody will be punished for this. I have seen this last 20 years. Not a single fellow, not a single terrorist who damaged, attacked our Sangha Hindus, damaged our properties, killed our Kailasavasis, devotees, disciples. No one, no criminal, no terrorist was punished. It is 20 years. Now, I am facing this. Police supports those terrorist gang and those criminals. So much I have gone through and my Sangha has gone through. We have done tyaga of everything. And today again, 2 sadhus and one of their assistant driver, they belong to my sampradaya. They belong to Akada Parishat, the 13 Akadas which we belong to. All Hindus, please wake up. Let us get the international attention to this Hindu Holocaust continuously happening in India and other places, other countries too. Save Hindus. This anti-Hindu media is not going to stop till the last Hindu is killed and eliminated. And after they kill that last Hindu, the story also will be, he was responsible to get killed. He was anti-social and anti-humanity, so he was killed. Let us stop this Hindu Holocaust. Save Hindus. I tell you, oh Hindus, Hindu sadhus, if you guys keep quiet, that same terrorist gang which killed the sadhus yesterday, they are not going to keep quiet. They are going to come to you next. Don't think, oh, they have not attacked my ashram. They are going to come to you next. Many of the devotees, disciples are creating organizations, sanghas all over the world. Uniting nations for the purpose of contributing to work on religious harmony, to work on world peace, to work on preserving the ancient heritage, to work on protecting the ancient power manifestation sciences and ancient unique religions and traditions, because people are trying to destroy indigenous cultures, the racists and supremacists. Racist supremacists are trying to destroy indigenous cultures all over the world, calling them cult and calling them all bad names and destroying them. All those indigenous traditions have so much to contribute to the humanity and the world. All of them need to be protected. All of them need to be safeguarded. KAILASA is taking up the responsibility of uniting the nations for ancient heritage, uniting nations for ancient knowledge and scriptural storing, uniting nations for ancient sciences, uniting nations for animal rights, uniting nations for children and youth, uniting nations for enlightened beings and avatars, uniting nations for feminine empowerment and gender equality, uniting nations against lawfare, uniting nations against persecutions and genocides, uniting nations for global peace and religious harmony, uniting nations for mental health and development, uniting nations for monks and nuns, uniting nations for mystical and spiritual sciences, uniting nations for nutritious food and hunger-free world, uniting nations for persecuted religions, uniting nations for revival of ancient civilizations, uniting nations for unique religions, uniting nations for yoga, uniting nations for ancient sacred arts and ancient sacred sciences, Uniting Nations for consciousness studies and consciousness practices, Uniting Nations for enlightened cultures and arts, Uniting Nations for indigenous aboriginal nations and traditions and cultures, Uniting Nations for advocating peace, Uniting Nations for yogic sciences, Uniting Nations for family health and development, Uniting Nations for rights of the immigrants, Uniting Nations for safe and supportive entertainment, Uniting Nations for best right spiritual techniques and methods and technology. Understand? Uniting Nations for prevention of mass killings, Uniting Nations for orphans and abandoned children, Uniting Nations for furthering the researches to find cure for HIV/AIDS, Uniting Nations for against the atrocities and crimes. We are working in all this line, and devotees, disciples, volunteers are creating organizations in multiple nations to do all this good work. Soon, in the morning satsang, I'll be blessing, giving them spiritual blessings and announcing in which countries, which organizations are legally registered and started functioning. All over the world, work has started happening. Much is done. Soon, I'll be announcing more details. Understand, Hinduism had 56 nations. Kumarikandam, Pandyanadu, Cholanadu, Kannadanadu, Kurjaram, Gantaram, Nepalam, Kashi, Kambojam. From ancient time, we had 56 nations. I personally feel Kumarikandam was the source of Hinduism. Sanskrit was the ritual language to connect with gods. Tamil was the language spoken among human beings. Both languages existed in Kumarikandam. In a way, I should say both had their purposes and complemented each other. So, from there, the 56 nations evolved. I also want to make sure that I put it on record. I am not saying those 56 nations are Hindu countries now. Many of them have become Islamic nations. Some of them have become secular. So, I am not saying any of them are or all of them are Hindu countries at present. I am saying there was a time Hinduism had 56 nations. And also I wanted to put it very clear on record. KAILASA does not claim any territory. Kailasa does not have any territorial claim on any of these 56 countries. We do not have any territorial claims. We do not have any claim on any of these nations or any border, any territory. We don't have any claim. I am making it very clear. I am only reviving the grand narrative of Hinduism, which was practiced as a state religion in 56 nations in those days. Hinduism had the great narrative about cosmos, enlightenment, social structure, economy, politics, administration, about everything. Kailasa is my humble effort to keep the grand narrative alive in one remote corner of the world, like a seed bank. How the seed bank keeps the seed alive, same way I just want to keep this seed bank alive. So, I do not have any claim, Kailasa do not have any claim over any of these nations or territory or land. I am making it very clear. Formally, Kailasa declares all the 56 nations we had as Hindu nations in those days. Now, they may not be Hindu nations. They might have become, some become Islamic, some become secular, whatever. But we are reviving the heritage which was once past of those countries, the history of those countries. So, I declare all those nations as most favored nation for Kailasa, for bilateral and trade formally. Formally, I declare all the nations where Hinduism was state religion in those days, in some past. It may not be state religion now, but in those days, it was state religion. I am trying to revive now that tradition in one remote corner of the world, not in those countries. In one remote corner of the world. So I am making it very clear. At present, some of them may be Buddhist, some of them may be Islamic, some of them may be secular. Whatever way they are, Kailasa formally declares all those nations as most favored nations for bilateral and trade. Kailasa nation is the most ancient enlightened civilization, Hindu civilizational nation. There were 49 ancient civilizations, the pre-Bronze Age. The only civilization still alive is Hinduism. This nation, KAILASA, I created as a seed bank for Hinduism to keep everything related to Hinduism alive and revive and share with the world. With the grace of Paramashiva, with the blessings of Paramashiva, KAILASA has successfully happened. So the revival of ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation has happened with its own territory. As on now, we have territory more than one places. And we are also getting from few more countries, few more smaller islands and small territories. I am stitching all of it and forming United States of KAILASA. Soon I'll announce the location where all we have our territories. At least in one place, the Hinduism need to be kept alive as it is, without being constantly attacked, persecuted, destroyed. I wanted all the living and practicing Hindus of the world to know Hinduism is the most peaceful, non-violent, contributing civilization. All over the world, we are minority. I want all the Hindus to know all over the world, other than India and Nepal, we are factually and actually minority. In Nepal and India, we are factually may not be minority, but actually we are minority. Hindus in Nepal and in India, number-wise may not be minority, means factually may not be minority, but actually minority. So fundamentally, Hindus are minority all over the world. At least in one place, we need to keep Hinduism alive. The Hindu enlightenment sciences like yoga, meditation, kriyas, temple rituals, Hindu architecture knowledge, all the Hindu way of healthy eating, Hindu medicine, in every field, the large knowledge our ancestors contributed to humanity need to be kept alive, preserved, made user-friendly and shared with the world. This is the sole purpose why KAILASA is born. To keep the grand narrative of Hinduism alive, I made this KAILASA. KAILASA has successfully happened. I sincerely wanted to thank all the Hindus all over the world for supporting me and making this KAILASA happen. is time, O Hindus, especially the NRIs who have seen enough life, wealth, fulfilled in all your basic needs. It is time you guys wake up to the reality. We need to keep Hinduism alive if we want the humanity alive. Death of Hinduism is death of humanity. Hinduism needs to be kept alive, and Hinduism has really so much to contribute to the world in every field. Hinduism needs to be kept alive for humanity to be alive. Hinduism has a purpose. It should neither be diluted nor destroyed. Everything about Hinduism should be made legitimate. The Hindu judiciary, Hindu administration, Hindu economic principles, Hindu constitution, Hindu medicine, Hindu physics, Hindu astrology, Hindu astronomy, Hindu methodology of measuring time, Hindu chemistry, Hindu alchemistry, Hindu biology, Hindu sexology, Hindu sociology, everything should become legitimate. KAILASA is revived to keep this Hindu grand narrative legitimate, Hinduism legitimate. I request all Hindus humbly. I am not asking you your wealth. I am not asking you your hard-earned money. I am asking you, give birth to 2 more kids than your need. If you want to take care of you in your old age, give birth to 5. Give 2 to KAILASA to bring up in Gurukul, Hindu Gurukul. You give 2 to the Gurukul. Let one study to become professors in Hindu universities, where he will be Grihastha, but making money, making livelihood by working for Hinduism and Hinduism related activities. Understand? I am only asking you, give me kids. We need to revive Hinduism. I am not interested in the overnight organizations, this modern day art of jinging, art of dunging, art of bunging, jing yoga, jung yoga, bung yoga. The overnight popular theology light. Ooh, laugh, love, little jing, jung, dance. No. I am interested in reviving the authentic, ancient, most authentic Hindu enlightened civilization. I am interested in building stone temples, which may take my whole life, but which will be there till the sun and the moon is alive. See, unfortunately, Hindus lost the understanding about this collective integrity. See, if a ship has to stay afloat, all the mechanisms in that ship need to stay integrated. It can be the maintenance engineer or the cleaning staff, captain, all the equipments fixed in the ship, everything, the machineries and all human beings, all of them need to be integrated for the ship to stay afloat. For the ship to stay afloat and reach the place where it need to reach, everyone in the ship need to be integrated. It's called collective integrity. A maintenance engineer cannot think, oh, I have done my job, but the fuel manager is not doing his job, or the cleaning person is not doing his job. So if the ship sinks, I will not be blamed. I will not be questioned. I am safe. Let whatever happens to others, or whatever others do or don't do, what is there for me? That level of integrity will not work for the ship to stay afloat. This is exactly done by the Hindus. In the modern day, everyone says, oh, I have tried my best. I have done my best. But others are not doing. What can I do? I have seen this as a typical mold. Same narrative. Whether it comes to reclaiming the political legitimacy of the Hindus, or reclaiming their temples, or reclaiming their organizations and religious freedom, or any guru's organizations running. Please understand, any problem Hindus are facing. So whether you ask the Hindus, why are you living a slavery life? Why you don't have a religious freedom? Why your temples are not under you, it's under the government? Why your temple wealth is not used for running gurukuls, the Hindu schools? Why your temple wealth is not being used to develop and spread Hindu medicines? Why you guys are not having any respect for the greatest and oldest jurisprudence, the Hindu law Manusmriti? Everyone will have one answer. Oh, I am doing whatever I can, but others are not doing. What can I do? Exact answer. A maintenance engineer in a ship, if he gives, what will happen to the ship? That exactly same thing is happening to these guys. We need Hindus to start thinking with a collective integrity. Not only I will do my job as maintenance engineer, I will make sure the fuel manager does his job as fuel manager, and cleaning person does his job as a cleaning person. We need that kind of an ecosystem for Hinduism to be revived. I decided very clearly that can be done only in a place where we have political legitimacy and political sovereignty. With the grace of Paramashiva, I got a place. Maybe small, but I got a place with a political legitimacy and political sovereignty for Hinduism. Hindu nation, KAILASA. Only in this place, this collective integrity ecosystem can be built. A maintenance engineer spends 60% of his working time for his job, and the other 40% to integrate with other teams and make sure the other teams are also in integrity so the ship stays afloat. If a maintenance engineer, even if he is highly integrated and he doesn't care about the fuel manager properly adding fuel to the ship, engines, the ship is going to sink. May not, and maintenance engineer may not be blamed, but he is going to lose his job and life. Only with the collective integrity, the ship can stay afloat. If not, you may not be blamed because you have been integrated. But the final result is not going to happen. You are also going to lose your job and life both. Thoroughly understood. Hindus have been beaten too long, and maximum they have the energy only to be individually integrated. They don't have energy to manage the collective integrity. So only the captain has to be responsible for the collective integrity. I tell you, this is one of the biggest curse Hindus are suffering. Everyone feels, oh, I am integrated, I will do what I need to do. Others are not doing, what can I do? It is captain's responsibility in making collective integrity happen, everyone to be integrated, not mine. Sometimes people in the ship, one side maintenance team enjoys the other side maintenance team failing, thinking, oh, see how we are victorious now, they are failing, and that side of the ship, such big holes are happening. Hey, if the water comes in and the ship sinks, all of you are going to die. Why don't you understand? Hindus lack this understanding. You ask any question, any problem to any Hindu thinkers, think tanks, Hindu organizations, Hindu leaders, Hindus, whether common Hindu or Hindu thinkers, ask them, any of them, these questions. This top 100 questions, top 100 problems. You list top 100 problems of the Hindus. Getting bullied in the cyberspace. So much of cyber bullying. All the major social media organizations are anti-Hindu. Racist. So much cyber bullying. Racist attacks on Hindus. They don't have their temples under their control. Their gurus are being attacked left, right, center. Every day one guru is pulled down with false accusations, false cases, lawfare, hate speech, very systematically. List all these 100 problems and ask these questions. Everyone will say, oh, I am doing whatever I can. But others are not doing. What can we do? We need Hindu leaders who understand collective integrity truth. It is collective integrity which is going to keep the ship stay afloat. Many people asked me, Swamiji, why did you leave such a huge empire you built in India and sitting somewhere in one corner for so many years? Be very clear. It's already 3 years. I left India. More than 3 years. This 3 years is worth because I have done the foundation, legal, protected, internationally protected place first. Not only I have the immunity of non-prosecutable and immunity and protection as the head of the state, sovereign land, which can't be violated, and the embassy status in multiple places, even sovereign land in more than one places. This 3 years is worth, because the first things are done first, right things are done first. We have a great future. We don't have to worry. Will there be any end like what happened, what has been done to Asaram Babu's organization? What has been done to Sant Rampal's ecosystem? What has been done to Ram Rahim's ecosystem? What has been done to this Palgar Sadhus, and what has been done to Kanchimat? You don't need to worry, because I have done the right things first. That's a, spend little time, study how each Hindu ecosystem is persecuted in last 100 years. Listen, whether Kanchimat or Asaram Babu or Ram Rahim or Sant Rampal or Shivashankar Baba, all of them, all their organizations, with so much of hard work, they build the Hindu ecosystem like a beautiful honeycomb. But just some thief comes and robs the whole thing and takes it away. But again, you guys Hindus will work hard and build it like a honeycomb. Again, somebody else will come and steal. Be very clear. I am not interested in this game. That is why I decided very clearly, I will build the fort first. Proper stone fort. Then build the honeycomb, so it will stay forever and work forever. Support the Hindus forever. Keep the Hindu ecosystem forever alive. Be very clear. I understood this secret. I started my public life at the age of 16. Within 10 years, by 25, I understood. Without making a proper protection system, any hard work me and my sannyasis put and build, it will be like a honeycomb. When Kanchi Shankaracharya got arrested, clearly I realized the Samasthana, which had immunity from all prosecution, lasted just 2 generations before, till the India adopted the secular constitution. Kanchimat, Madurayadinam, all of them had immunity from all prosecution in writing, legally valid, from the British government till the British time. Just 2 generations. Now, those gurus are getting prosecuted. Lawfare is being done. False accusations are put. They are prosecuted left, right, center. Of course, Kanchi Shankaracharya proved he is innocent and came out. But what happened to that organization? What happened to that mutt? What happened to himself? Was he able to stand back? The criminally negligent Hindus did not have gratitude for all the work he has done. The criminally negligent Hindus are not realizing the anti-Hindus are attacking the real Hindus because he stood for the Hindus and stick his neck out, his head was cut. That's all. So that is like a message. No one else should stick their neck out for Hinduism. I tell you, I realized this truth. If I don't build the proper legitimate fort, legal protection, Even if I work for 100 years and build the Hindu ecosystem, I don't want to say what would have happened. I know very clearly. I know very clearly. I know very clearly. I wanted to tell all my disciples, listen. The good news I have for all of you is, by the grace of Paramashiva, we already have a sovereign territory in more than one place for KAILASA and diplomatic relationship with many countries for KAILASA, and I am safe. We are going to be safe forever. That is the good news I have for all my disciples. So all your effort, you are all putting time, treasure, talent, and building this KAILASA will be useful forever. It cannot be hijacked, destroyed by anyone, because I made a proper foundation, protection, fortress. Then started building the honeycomb. I did the first things first. Be very clear. Be very clear. First things first. Today is March 2nd. Worst assassination attempts I faced on this very day. Literally, March 2nd and 3rd, 4th, 5th, this 1 week, at least 10 times they tried on different years. Very aggressively. There were small attacks, but some of the very aggressive, very planned attacks, locking me inside my room, ashram, tapovan, kutia, and putting the petrol bomb and burning. That kind of a sure shot methods they tried. By the grace of Paramashiva, protection of Mahabhairava, I am still alive. I am saved by the grace of Paramashiva and protection of Mahabhairava, Mahakala Bhairava. Still, I am continued to be protected by the grace of Paramashiva and protection of Mahakala Bhairava. You can see the photos and videos. It is not created even by us. It was done a live reality show by national news channels of India. They were pride about burning me live. They were not interested in legally dealing with me. First of all, I have not done anything wrong, anything illegal or immoral or antisocial. I have not done anything wrong in any level. They just want to eliminate me because I am working for the revival of power manifestation science and Hinduism. Spiritual enlightenment science stored in Hinduism. I never worked against any other religion. I never spoke against any religion. I just started working to revive Hinduism. That's all. I have faced so much aggression. terrorist attacks on me, assassination attempts, lawfare, hate speech, every level. Today I am here by the grace of Paramashiva, with the protection of Mahakala Bhairava, to declare the victory of Parashakti, victory of Paramashiva, victory of Mahakala Bhairava. By the grace of Paramashiva, with the protection of Mahakala Bhairava, we won in this whole war imposed on us. Understand? I have not become violent because violence was forced on me. I have not decided to lose my goodness because of the bad people entering into my life. No. I said very clearly, I will continue to retain my goodness. I will only tell the whole world what all has been done to me and Sri KAILASA. Understand? This KAILASA, revival of enlightenment civilization, is not started 2 years before or 3 years before. It is hereditary, handed over to me by my gurus. I have started actively doing it. That is why I have been attacked. I have started actively doing it. I have started legally doing it. I have started doing it in a foolproof way. I have started telling the world the persecution Hindus are going through. I have started telling the world the non-violent tradition of Hindus. Because of non-violent tradition, how they are being tortured, killed, attacked. Hate speech is done against them, and they also withdrew from life and got into inactivism, helplessness, did not reach out to the world to tell the right narrative, the truths, facts. Even now, Hindus are being portrayed all over the world as terrorists, even after being attacked. They are attacked, but they are projected as terrorists. They are killed, but they are projected as aggressors. Because we did not tell the world, in the name of non-violence and Tyaga, we became inactive. Ahimsa, non-violence, should be practiced actively, should be told to the world with a right narrative. How, even after being abused, attacked, hate speech, destroyed, killed, assassination attempts, still we continue to maintain non-violence and ahimsa because we believe in it. We live it. We be and live and believe. We are being, living and believing. Non-violence and ahimsa. We just missed actively enriching the world, reaching out to the world. Sri KAILASA is formed for this purpose of telling the great ideals, non-violence, ahimsa, Tyaga, all the great human values lived, practiced, lived, believed, lived, believed by Hindus actively to the whole world. Hindus need only one thing: actively enriching. You should have worked on all the mass communication infrastructures and reached out to the world through entertainment industry, through the mass communication methodologies, to mass media methods, and to the United Nations, and to every human rights organization, and to the whole world. How non-violent we are, and why we believe in ahimsa, non-violence, all these great principles. Actively enriching, organized way enriching should have been done, which Hindus missed. Sri KAILASA is created, revived for that purpose. Sri KAILASA is age-old nation, age-old enlightened civilization. I am only reviving it. I am not creating it. I am reviving it. The job really Hindus need to do is to tell the world, I have incorporated this KAILASA, nation without borders. KAILASA, nation without borders. In a way I can say, whole universe is the KAILASA. KAILASA, nation without borders. I've incorporated in multiple countries. Each KAILASA will function in their own countries as per that country's law, within that country's law. Understand? The KAILASA is revived to do contribution, uniting the nations for contribution. Hinduism, Veda Agamas have great things to contribute to the world, like the great power manifestation science, the ancient culture and arts, the ancient lifestyle truths, the ancient medical practices and medicinal knowledge, the ancient indigenous cultural heritage and jewelry, perfume, dance, music. In every level, Hinduism has so much to contribute. Veda Agamic traditions have so much to contribute. To share all this with the world, to contribute to the world. Many of the devotees, disciples are creating organizations, sanghas all over the world. Uniting nations for the purpose of contributing to work on religious harmony, to work on world peace, to work on preserving the ancient heritage, to work on protecting the ancient power manifestation sciences and ancient unique religions and traditions, because people are trying to destroy indigenous cultures, the racists and supremacists. Racist supremacists are trying to destroy indigenous cultures all over the world, calling them cult and calling them all bad names and destroying them. All those indigenous traditions have so much to contribute to the humanity and the world. All of them need to be protected. All of them need to be safeguarded. Why we need a Hindu nation? That question need to be addressed. Because the Hindu civilization is good, it need to be kept alive. We need a Hindu nation. But the civilization is getting destroyed in extremely alarming speed. Hindus are neither ready to wake up, and anyone who is even trying to wake up the Hindus is targeted and destroyed brutally. Fortunately, with the grace of Paramashiva, I am still alive. I am not killed. I did not fall. But the number of attempts on my life and the lawfare done on me and the defamation, destroying my identity, all this is enormous. If you see the volume of atrocity material generated on me in the internet, you will be shocked. Listen carefully. I want Hindus to know this truth. Understand? The target of anti-Hindu elements is not me, you. Because I am defending all of you, I am being targeted. Listen. Wake up to that. Oh Hindus, the target of anti-Hindu elements is not me, you. Because I am defending you, protecting you, they are targeting me. Wake up to this truth. Let me reveal some of these truths step by step. First, India has two layers. Civilizational nation, territorial nation. The threats territory is facing, all of you know. But the threats civilizational nation is facing, unsaid. Even the Hindus are not waking up to this truth. The threat Hindu civilizational nation is facing, even Hindus strongly believe caste system is wrong. Oh God. Hey, this is the system which made you live, which is your life, which is still keeping you alive, the only existing ancient civilization. There are 49 ancient civilization, all 48 has disappeared. The only living continuously living unbroken civilization is Hindu civilization. The reason, one and only reason, is caste system. Kula தாழ்ச்சி உயர்ச்சி சொல்லல் பாவம். That line I agree. There is no higher or lower among the caste. That I agree. But don't try to dismantle the very caste system. The caste system kept this civilization alive. Deity worship kept the civilization alive. Temples kept the civilization alive. I have incorporated this KAILASA, nation without borders. KAILASA, nation without borders. In a way I can say whole universe is the KAILASA. KAILASA, nation without borders. I have incorporated in multiple countries. Each KAILASA will function in their own countries as per that country's law, within that country's law. Understand? The KAILASA is revived to do contribution, uniting the nations for contribution. Hinduism, Veda Agamas have great things to contribute to the world. Like the great power manifestation science, the ancient culture and arts, the ancient lifestyle truths, the ancient medical practices and medicinal knowledge, the ancient indigenous cultural heritage and jewelry, perfume, dance, music. In every level, Hinduism has so much to contribute. Veda Agamic traditions have so much to contribute. To share all this with the world, to contribute to the world. Hindus need to tell the world what they are contributing in every level. The brand of Hinduism itself is enriching and empowering and enlightening. Hinduism is all about enlightening the world. Empowering, enlightening, enriching the world. Contributing. That is our spiritual life. That is our spiritual strength. That is our spiritual core principle. O humanity, I request you with folded hands some one corner of the world. If you just give me few hundred acres, I will keep this whole science alive. Leave it for the whole humanity freely. Fortunately, Paramashiva has given me the power to decode all this Hindu medicinal system, Hindu judiciary system, Hindu social law and order system, Hindu power manifestation system, Hindu mental sciences system, Hindu yogic sciences, the sciences of Hindu biology, Hindu physics, Hindu psychology, Hindu physiology, Hindu chemistry, all this Paramashiva has given me the power to decode. Whatever the remaining scriptures are available with the humanity, Paramashiva has blessed me, and I have collected. Not only I have collected and organized, I can decode. This whole science can be kept alive in any one corner of the world. Just few hundred acres are given for me to live peacefully and exist peacefully. I can store this whole thing alive and contribute it to humanity. Humanity can become better and better and better. I can make the planet Earth so much better place to live. I am here to contribute, and I will continue to contribute. As long as I am allowed to live, I will contribute. I have collected all the remaining available scriptures, maybe 2 crore books. 2 crore means 20 million, I think, books on Hindu physics, Hindu chemistry, Hindu biology, Hindu physiology, Hindu psychology, Hindu law and order, Hindu social system, the power manifestation sciences of Hinduism, yogic sciences of Hinduism. I have collected, and Paramashiva has given me the blessings and power to decode. I have decoded and continuing to decode them. If the humanity, somebody is kind enough to give me few hundred acres in one corner of the world and let me live peacefully, I can keep all these scriptures there and go on sharing with the world, revealing this whole sciences to the world, and go on contributing. I don't need anything other than 1 cup of curd rice every day. That's all. A cup of curd rice per day, over. I can go on be giving this to the world. I can add to the world. I can make the world better place to live. That's all I have to say. Thousands of medicines are described detail in ancient Siddha and Ayurvedic scriptures. Paramashiva has given me the power to decode them, read them, and properly translate and map them to the modern day human language. And I am ready to work 20 hours a day. I just need few hundred acres where I can sit peacefully and keep this library, run a Gurukul where thousands of people can learn this and share it with the world. Understand? I am only interested in contributing. If we can decode all this great knowledge, whole world can prosper from this knowledge. Whole world can enjoy from this knowledge. If I prosper, I will only create a university. I will not create anything else. If the Hindus prosper, they will only create education institutions. Because Hinduism is all about giving, contributing. If I prosper, I'll create university, that's all. KAILASA is all about university, to decode the ancient sciences and share with the world. Understand? Every day I am sitting and going on decoding, writing notes on my books and writing details on my books. Whether it is making human beings manifest powers, and I have also now started downloading and decoding the science of making animals manifest powers. Whether making people manifest powers or healing, in every level, life is all about contribution. They are not understanding Gurus and Brahmins are the roots of Hinduism. If you eliminate these two, Hinduism will be gone. They think the Neo-Hindutva people, the Neo-Hindus, they really believe they can keep Hinduism alive by eliminating Gurus and Brahmins. Fools don't understand. Gurus and Brahmins kept the Hinduism alive. Archavatara and Nijavataras kept Hinduism alive. Brahmins worshipping, keeping the Archavatara tradition. Gurus keeping the Nijavatara tradition. Kept Hinduism alive. Unique two principles of Hinduism is God descends in the form of deity in a specific place. Hindu temples are living abodes of gods and goddesses, not just worship altars, theology training centers, education organizations alone, or it is not just prayer altars alone. It is living abode of gods and goddesses. That is why once a Hindu temple, the prana pratishtha is done, consecration is done, you can't move it, you can't sell it. The Hindu temple land loses real estate value. It doesn't belong to any more planet Earth or planet Earth's real estate market. There is no real estate value for Hindu temple. The second important principle of Hinduism is Daivam Manushya Rupena. God lands in human body and manifests himself using human being and human identity. The Neo-Hindutva people, Neo-Hindus, does not believe in both principles, neither in Archavatara nor in Nijavatara. That is where the whole problem starts. They are brainwashed so much by the media cult and entertainment cult. Even the Neo-Hindus don't believe. They are as much as anti-Guru and anti-Brahmins as the anti-Hindu elements. Deadly combination of missionary militants and militant missionaries and Neo-Hindus ganged up is literally eliminating Hinduism from India. It's unfortunate, but the reality. I want international Hindu diaspora to wake up to this reality. Hindu diaspora need to wake up to this reality. The Hindu diaspora knows Hindus are minority. Still in India, Hindus are brainwashed that they are majority. Fools. Now the whole world is a global country. There's no such thing as individual country, especially after the advent of the internet and social media. We are all living in the internet. The world's largest city is internet. At any given time, 2 billion people are living there. We are all citizens of internet. We should call ourselves as netizens. In net, Hindus are minority. Wake up to the truth. Internationally, Hindus are minority. And in India, media allows, in the field of media, FDI is allowed. The deadly nexus of NGOs and
जन्म जन्ममाय செய்த தவமோ